Welcome to a special episode of Lisa and Michael Save the World. We are here on New Year's Eve day.
New Year's Eve day.
New Year's Eve day.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have just found out that Betty White passed away.
Our girl is gone.
Yes. The Golden Girls, they're all together now, right?
I know, but, she was such a feisty, go-getter, independent woman, and she was such an inspiration and role model for me and lots of, creative women. And just
definitely.
women in general.
Definitely. She was really ahead of her time.
She was.
2 weeks from 100. Jesus. But the things that she did, in fact, I had just recently read, and I think it was, she had the Betty White show. Yeah. And also, I just want to explain, I'm wearing a Lucy shirt, because I don't have my Golden Girls shirts with me. And I just felt like, these two were really the queen of
Trailblazers.
And not only that, I think I have to say that as much as I love Lucy, and I think she's so iconic, because the show was really built around her. Yes. Betty White had a longer career.
She did.
And more hits, I think.
For sure.
But she had the Betty White show, which was, I think it was kind of like a variety.
And even before that, she was very successful on radio.
Yes.
And she was part of a morning show team.
Yes.
That was on, she worked, because I watched her documentary earlier this year, which is fantastic. I recommend it. She worked, this morning show, which was, on a shoestring budget, and it was 5 days a week, and it was incredible how much they put together. Amazing.
Yeah. And they, she was sharp as a tack, just in general, great at the game shows.
Yes. Clever, funny, down to earth.
But I was reading, and maybe it went, because I know the Betty White show had I haven't seen too many of those episodes, but it was like a sitcom, but she did do something, I think also called the Betty White show, that was kind of like a variety show back in the 50s. You're
right. And she had actually an argument, a disagreement with her television station, because she had a gentleman who was, you know what I'm saying, right?
This was my story.
Tell the story.
Well, you might know more, because me, when I read things, sometimes some of it stays, but I just remember he was black.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if he was a dancer, right?
He was a dancer, and they asked to have him replaced.
And she wouldn't.
She wouldn't do it.
And she
Our
said
girl,
that.
Betty.
Yes. And that was back in the 50s. She really had an open mind.
She did.
Yeah. For her generation, she had a very open mind.
For sure.
And, Mary Tyler Moore show.
Oh my God. Wasn't she Sue Ann?
Sue Ann Nivens.
She was funny and naughty and...
Yeah, for people that really know her as Rose from the Golden Girls.
Right.
Don't realize that in the Mary Tyler Moore show, she was still sticky sweet, villain. But she was a bitch.
She was totally...
She was definitely the bitch of the show, but in a funny, sweet way. And I'm sure you know this about the Golden Girls casting.
Right. She wasn't supposed to be Rose.
She was supposed to be Blanche, and Rue McClanahan was supposed to be Rose. But they had decided, because Rue McClanahan, for those of you who don't know, was on the Maude show with B. Arthur.
Yeah.
And played kind of a dingy neighbor of hers. So they had decided that, and since Betty White already played Sue Ann, who was very sexually driven, they decided to switch, because they had already kind of played those parts already. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to think what it would have been like had they. It probably still would have been good. But.
And look, we're including her in Lisa and Michael Save the World because she's an influence. She has influenced both of us.
Definitely.
And I know for a fact she's influenced many other artists, including, friends of mine, male and female. It's just, she's so heavily ingrained in the American culture that it's kind of hard not to at least know who she is. And you should know who she is.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And And hopefully people that just know her from the Golden Girls will also go back and look at, the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Yes.
She was also not on it, but she started on the Carol Burnett Show as a character in Mama's Family. She played Eunice's sister.
So good.
And
so good.
She
and
did
saucy.
guest star on Mama's Family when it was a sitcom a couple times.
And I have to say, one of her series that has become probably my favorite to watch is Hot in Cleveland.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
God.
what a cast. Yes. Oh my God, what a cast. And she's part of this incredible cast.
Yes.
And it's funny and it deals with real issues in a way that, it's like putting like sugar on your medicine a little bit, but you're laughing the whole time and you're just falling in love with these characters led by Betty White.
And I have to say, it really was, we don't get, not like a sequel, but almost like a repeat of a great ensemble cast of women. It really was a modern day Golden Girls.
Yes.
Because the three of them were, even though Betty White was not one of their mothers, she took over that Sophia
she had like a matriarchal position in the cast.
And the chemistry was just as good. And
you could tell that they liked each other.
Yeah, when you see them interviewed, and I loved it, they had a couple episodes where they would actually I think that they were special episodes where they would talk about the filming and everything. And Valerie Bertinelli.
Yes.
And I can't think of that. Wendy Malick.
Yes.
And who is it?
Jane Leeves.
Jane Leeves. Yes. The three of them were just wonderful. I was so sad when but I guess they were trying to get that. They got those seasons in very quickly.
They did, and they never lost momentum. It's not like it started great and then it started great and it stayed great to the end.
Yes. And
that's because of the cast, the quality of the cast and the camaraderie of this cast.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like, it's just nice. And I always feel like when I watch that, I feel like, oh, that's like the camaraderie I have with the artists that I work with all the time. It's this bond that you have and you go through the ups and downs together. You work on exhibits and projects together. I did this mannequin with the very talented June Van Dunk. We did this homage to Van Gogh. And these people you meet along the way and become part of your tribe. And I feel like, Betty set the standard.
And of course she never really had many movie roles years ago.
Yeah.
She was in, it was a black and white film. See, we didn't really prepare. We figured we'd do this off the cuff, but there was a movie. It was a courtroom drama, and she was in it. But her film career kind of took off in later. Yeah. More recently.
I saw Ryan Reynolds talking about working with her.
Oh, with Sandra Bullock.
And just the interview, you could just, feel his sincerity about how much he enjoyed her and how funny she was and how much he influenced her.
That's a great one, but my favorite, and if any of you have not seen this, you gotta see it, was You Again. That's with Jamie Lee Curtis and Sigourney Weaver.
I don't know this movie.
I'm
gonna watch
it. They're like
now.
Rivals from high school, and their daughters were rivals in high school. Well, actually, Sigourney Weaver is the aunt of this other girl, but Kristen Bell plays Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter, and Betty White is, I don't think she's Kristen Bell's grandmother. I forget that if she's Jamie
Watch the
Lee
movie.
Curtis.
I'm gonna watch the movie and then
great movie.
Message us about it.
Oh my God, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It was great to see her pop up in all these films.
I saw her in a television movie where she's older and she plays the wife of a World War II soldier who was killed.
Oh, I've heard of this, never saw it.
It's wonderful, and she's wonderful in it. So she could be funny, she could be serious, she could be naughty. She did it all, and she did it all well.
And the Golden Girls, when you think back of all the topics that they got away with in the 80s, now we look at it, we look at it, and a lot of young people probably don't even blink an eye.
Yeah.
But these were big topics,
Yeah.
you know, when she's put in the position of Dorothy's friend having a crush on her, or she was addicted to the pain pills.
Yeah.
She also,
Do you remember the one where the boxer the boxer's this is an illegal immigrant?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he gets deported and stuff.
Oh no, that was Mario Lopez. That
Oh,
was
gosh,
B.
that's
Arthur's
right.
student. But there was a boxer.
He's an expert.
Yeah.
You can tell that.
There
I'm
was a
not.
boxer
But I
though
love
that.
it. Yeah, it was really good.
Oh my God.
I mean, they dealt with everything. And remember she didn't she kill one of her love partners?
Oh yes, she's
Was that
having
her?
sex. Yes, and yeah. Well, don't forget,
Well,
her
that
husband died when they were having sex, and then she had another. She was with a married man who ends up dying in her bed.
Well, it's
In the
happened to
house.
everybody, hasn't it?
I mean, they really just and she won. I think she won the most Emmys out of the four of them. They all won once, but I think she was the first one to win, and I think she had won twice during that. She also won for Mary Tyler Moore Show. I don't know how many Emmys she had. We should have looked that up, but I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah.
I'll put that scrolling by. How many?
I mean, Saint Olaf.
Yeah.
Just makes you laugh, like, because you know it's going to be a ridiculous story the minute you hear those two words, Saint Olaf. So we love you, Betty, and thank you for making a difference in this world.
Yes. Rest in peace.
Mwah.
Stay tuned.